Welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. So we are looking at application involving paraboles. So I'm just going to read this question first and then we're going to break it down and make it a bit simpler. Jody throws a rock from the top of a 30-meter high cliff and its height h meters above the sea is given by the formula h equals 30 minus 5t squared, where t is the seconds. So first thing I want you to think about is any graph that we draw. Our x-axis is always going to be telling us the time, how long it takes. And our y-axis is always going to be telling us the height. That would never change, those elements. So I just wanted to focus on those two. Now, the first thing we need to do is find the exact time for it to hit the water. Well, I'm going to rewrite this equation just slightly, just so we can break it down and see it. So a normal quadratic would be ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to move that around. H equals negative 5t squared plus 30. Now, if we remember about the quadratic, for us to know what y would be, we have x equals 0. So that means, because if x is 0, x is right over here, and that leaves us c, and that will tell us the y-intercept. So straight away, I know that the y-intercept is 30, and that is because 30 meters. And the reason why I can tell that straight away is also looking up here, the rock is thrown at 30 meters. Before it's thrown, time is 0. So straight away I can see that time is 0 when the rock is thrown at 30 meters. So that's quite clear. Now, if we know anything else about parabolas, we also know that we can factorize, and when we factorize this, we will also find the x-intercepts. So let's have a go at factorizing this. So the first thing I'm going to be thinking about doing is I am going to take negative 5 out of the bracket. So that will give me h equals negative 5 t squared. 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. There we go. So we've got t squared minus 6 in the brackets. Now the next thing I want to think about is, well, when we're factorising, we look at two things. We need two numbers that times together to equal c, and two numbers that add up to equal b. Well, we know b is not existent in here, so that means it's 0. So we know we need two numbers to add up to 0, and the two numbers that times to equal negative. So that means we are going to need to have the same number. So what is two numbers that I can times together that equal 6? Well, let's have a look. What is the square root of 6? I'm just going to check. Just getting my calculator up. Okay, so the square root of 6 equals 2.444. Awesome. So I'll just do this. The square root of 6 times the square root of 6. And one is going to be positive, one is going to be a negative. That will make it easier for me. So now I know that. If I add those two together, it equals 0. So I'm going to rewrite this and put down h equals h equals -5, and then I've got t plus square root of 6 and t minus the square root of 6. So that tells me that our intercept for t, well, we ignore the negative, so it is when we've got the square root of 6. So if I go back, above is given where t is the seconds. So we know that t is going to be the square root of 6, which is 2 point something seconds. Or if I double check, it is 2.4 seconds. 2.4 seconds. So that's, now we've partly sketched the graph. Because I've got my 2 points, I can go down. I ignore this side here of the parabola because we're talking about time, and time starts from 0. What is the exact time if the rock is thrown from 20 meters? Well, straight away, I use the same formula. H equals -5t squared plus 20. So now I know I've got this formula. Again, I take the -5 out of the brackets. I factorise. 20 divided by -5 is -4. Again, I think about two numbers that will times to equal -4 and all add up to equal 0. And that will be -2 and 2. So h equals -5, t take 2, t plus 2. And that also tells me that if the rock is thrown from 20 meters, it will hit the floor in 2 seconds. Really hope that helps you understand parabolas. I really want you to think about how, when we're doing this, I want you to think that your understanding of quadratics, that really helps you in terms of understanding that c is the height and why we haven't done this side, and also understanding how to get our x-intercepts, which is time, and what one are we needing to look at.